Hello, everybody. It's me, Andrew Martin, and welcome to another Quickcast. Now, in our last two episodes, we were looking at the new features within the iOS 18. Now, in this episode, we'll be looking at the new features within the iPadOS 18. Now, these features are not exclusive to the iPad, but I would say it's better used on the iPad due to its bigger screen real estate as well as the use of the Apple Pencil. Now, with that said, guys, let's not waste any more time and let's get started. Now, when it comes to the new features on the iPadOS 18, the Notes app went through some great improvement. Now, first of all, you do have a highlight tool within the new Notes app. So if I should select any of the text in my note, and then I can go to my font format button and just tap on any of the colors that I want to use for the highlight, and then I can just tap on the highlight button. Another feature you can also use is the sectional subheadings. So as you can see in my document, I've got quite a few bullet points, headings, and subheadings. Say, for instance, I want to take the subheading and actually convert it into a subheading. Then I can just select the text, tap on the font format button, and then I can just tap on subheading. I can just going to do another one here as well. And then I can do exactly the same thing, subheading. And now that I've made these subheadings, you will see if I tap again on that same line, there is a drop down arrow which I can collapse as well as expand. So from an existing note that you've created, you can easily just make it into a quick outline. Now, another feature that is extremely useful and will be good for research as well as studying purposes is that we can actually add in our own voice recordings. So if I should tap on the attachment button, and there's a new entry that's record audio, and here I can just go ahead and start recording. Uses the same interface as that of your voice memo. So if I should tap on the record button. So this is a quick recording to show you how we can put in a voice recording into the note. And at the same time, it will also transcribe it. As mentioned, it does a transcription of that note as well. If we tap on the quotes button, then it will show you the transcription. But not only that, if I just tap on done, there you can see there's the voice recording with the transcription, but we can also have the transcription as separate text onto the note. So if I go back into the voice recording, I can tap on the ellipses, and amongst the options that you have, there's add transcript to note, which will then add it as separate text. Also, another great improvement to notes is the inline searching within a PDF attachment within your note. So if I should go to my attach button again, and I will just attach a file, and I'll just choose this one over here. And here you can see there's my PDF. And now I can just tap on the arrow at the top, go to quick look, and there's my search button. And I can just search, let's search for the word collaborate. And there you can see that it finds that word within my PDF. If I tap on done, within my note. So vast improvements have come to the Notes app with using the Apple Pencil. So if I just want to quickly demonstrate, I'll start a new note. Now on this new note, I will base it on our coding outline as we're having a coding event pretty soon. So what I'll do is I'll just write here coding outline. Now, after writing it, you will see that automatically my handwriting is being refined, and that is found within my pen tools under my ellipses. You can see auto refined handwriting, which is a new entry with the upgrade to the Notes app with iPadOS 18. Now, I can just continue writing, and you will see in certain cases where the iPad cannot make out your writing, it will do a spell check and it will auto refine it after you've selected the right word. Now, further on, I can write it out, but I've got some other information that I can copy into this note, which is a typed text. But now if I do copy it in here or paste it in here, it will automatically change it into a handwritten text. So if I go back to that note that I worked on earlier on, and I'll just take maybe a few paragraphs with a subheading, and I'll copy that. And now I can go back to my handwritten note, and I'll put it on a new line. So I'll just make this point number 1. And all I do is I just tap with my pencil, hold down till the orange line appears, then I tap on paste. And now what it will do is it will automatically convert my typed text into handwritten text, as you can see. The problem is it's now coming in a bit skew, but we can easily fix that by just tapping on any of the handwritten text, tap on the select all button, and then we go to the ellipses and we just tap on straighten, and then it will straighten it out. You can see that it didn't do a complete job with everything. In that case, we can just go to the ellipses again and straighten again, and then it's all good and well. Now, also, I can add in written text in between. Say, for instance, I decide to have a point number 1 and change this to point number 2. What I can do is I'm just going to tap to deselect everything. I will make this point number 2, and I want to put point number 1 between my Swift Playgrounds header and lesson number 6. So what I'll do is I'll tap hold on lesson number 6, and you will see an arrow will pop up. I will tap on that arrow, drag it down, and now I can make this point number 1, and this is going to be lesson number 5. So besides the fact that my handwriting has been improved and some new features has been added on, we can also create written math notes. So I've covered math notes within my iOS 18 video, but it becomes even more improved with using it on the iPad with your Apple Pencil. So with this, I'm going to create a new note. And guys, this also works hand in hand with my math notes on my calculator. So first of all, I can make a standalone math note, or I can make one that is synced with my notes. And I'll start with using one in my notes. So say, for instance, I will write out 167 divided by 77, and it will give me the solve button, and it will just automatically calculate. So now if I should go back into my sidebar, you will see that it picks it up as a handwritten note, and it gives me the calculation right there. But now say, for instance, I go into my calculator, and in my calculator, as you can see, it's got the same layout as I have within my iPhone with iOS 18. I can go from basic calculator to a scientific calculator, and even go and to a convert calculator where I have different unit standards. So I can go from one unit standard to the other. Like, say, for instance, if I want to go from volume all the way to, say, my currency, and I say I want to now select my South African rand and I want to convert it to euros, I can do all of that and even change it around. The main reason why I'm here is because of the math notes. So you've seen that I've done the math note inside of notes. It doesn't reflect the side. But if I do it other way around, starting with my calculator, so in this case, I'm going to write x is equal to 4, and I will say 4x plus x to the power of 4 is equal to, and then it puts in the answer. I can even do my graphs as well. If I say y equals to 2 plus minus 6, and then it will insert the graph. So I'm going to go back to my notes. So here you can see it automatically puts in the math note in there, the ones that I've now done in my calculator. And if I should go to my math note, I can continue writing here. I can say 333 plus 444. And if I should go back to my calculator, It reflects that side. So you have a choice in terms of where you want it. If you want to keep it separate or you want to keep it as a note that is synced between the two. Because if I should delete this note over here, and if I should go back to my calculator, it will also be deleted that side. Whereas the math note that you started in the notes stands totally independent and is not affected by any deletion or action taken within another app. After showing you guys all these fantastic features within the notes, voice memo, and even the calculator app, let's look at the new features within our Freeform app. If you have never looked at Freeform before or is a total beginner at using the app, I would encourage you to look at our Exploring Apple Freeform video here on our YouTube channel. I left the link to the video under the description below. Now, Freeform within the iPadOS 18 has received some major new features. Now, as you can see, I've got a number of boards going on here. And the one awesome feature is that I can select any of my boards and easily share it with anyone, as now within the sharing, I can just send a link to anyone with the following Apple products with its compatible operating system. Also, within our Freeform, I can do some basic math expressions as well, similar to that which I could do on the notes with my math notes as well as the calculator. So say for instance, I want to write out a quick expression. So there we go. A major new feature is where we can actually build different scenes. So say for instance, I will now select a different board this time. And let me go with this board over here. Now, as you can see, this is a huge board with different sides to it. And it can be a little bit cumbersome to go from one position to the other. And this is where we can create different scenes. So say, for instance, I want to take this and make it a first scene. So I can tap at the bottom on the star. And here I can add a scene. And then I can go to a different position. So I can go to the number 2 on my board and I can add a scene over there. And I can now go to number 3 and I can make a scene from that one. And then, of course, my last one, which is number 4, I can make a scene out of that one. And then, of course, I can then go to the middle and make a scene from that one. So now that I've got all my scenes, and what's so cool about it is that I actually want scene number 5 to be number 1, so I can click and drag it there to the top, so I can reposition it. And now, if I want to play out my scenes, all I can do is just go from, I can select scene 5, or which was now my scene 1, and I can select the first one, second one, third one, and my fourth one. And this makes it much easier if I should decide to do a lesson or even a presentation using Freeform, especially when it comes to massive boards with a lot of elements on it, where you want your movement to be more fluid between one part of the board to the next. So that is it for this episode. And please stay tuned to our next episode. We will look at the new features within the macOS Sequoia. Now, I'm aware that we only covered a few new features within the iPadOS 18. However, we're still waiting for the release of the Apple Intelligence, where we're looking at what new advancements Apple's AI tool will bring to our devices. And that's me, Angela Martin. Stay safe out there, and goodbye.